What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to The Leap. I'm Steve Lucas.
And I'm still here.
And that's Tim Hughes. And welcome to week 3 here, guys.
Happy trails, my friend.
Yeah, happy travels. This is an interesting week, to say the least here, guys. A lot of crazy matchups. Very tough trying to get our fantasy stuff together this week because it's kind of like everybody, it's like all the top teams in the league are all like, we're playing together this week.
Yay.
We're all playing this week. Oh, you got a fantasy team? Isn't that adorable? You about to be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But before we dive into that, man, the opening stuff here, Derek Carr.
Unbelievable.
How in the ever-loving fuck? I did not see this happening.
Me either.
I really didn't. Is he the real deal? That's the question. Is he finally the real deal? Is he finally this guy that everybody has been wanting him to be for the last however fucking many years?
He might be. It may be like the Amari Cooper scenario. Where you have a really good game and then you don't have a really good game, and it happens all the time. He's up here and then he's down here. So can Derek Carr keep it like this? Or is he going to be up like this and then down like this? And, boom or bust.
Right, the biggest thing is if he can sustain going forward. Obviously this Raiders team is much improved.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And the fact that they got back-to-back wins against
good teams,
really good teams and really good defense, because Steelers have got a great defense, Ravens have got a great defense. It's kind of like, oh shit, it looks like they finally got their stuff together here. Now year 4 for frickin' Gruden, he's finally like, I'm tired of fucking losing. I'm tired of being a bitch. I'm tired of it. I don't want to do this anymore. Hold on here. Let me check this thing here.
I think that it may be because their talent is finally rising to the top as far as their wide receivers go. They're all getting a little bit better, like Ruggs and Edwards. Renfro's having a fairly decent year.
Right, they're finally getting their chemistry. They're finally starting to gel. And that defense is not full of a bunch of scrubs anymore. They're actually full of some play. They actually have some players.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than frickin' Nassib.
What's really interesting to me is that Carr did that without Jacobs being in the game last week.
Yep.
I'm not saying Kenyon Drake's a bad running back, but I don't think he's obviously the same character as a Jacobs.
No, Jacobs is definitely the clear number one running back in that room. But, Kenyon Drake is a good running back. It's not like he's bad by any means at all. It's very weird, just seeing to me, I just think it's weird, because remember we were talking about it with freaking Gruden and being like, yo, this is that make or break
year.
Right now. Y'all need to fucking figure it out. And it seems like they actually really are.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far with what I've seen. And like you said, they were against good defenses. If they were against the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions, I would have been like, wow.
Okay, they're playing the worst teams in the league.
I don't know.
But no. They went out back-to-back, great defense, and just Derek Carr, I'm not going to lie, that Ravens game was freaking nuts. It really was. And I didn't really expect them to beat the Steelers because they were going into Pittsburgh.
Right. Exactly.
Pittsburgh is always tough at home. And they went out there and they won, and it's like, oh, shit. Okay, these guys are really coming after it here. And it's good, though.
Oh,
because it's the AFC West is a stacked division.
Oh, man.
So...
And it's going to be hard to predict exactly who's going to win it. Everybody thought right from the get-go Kansas City, but... now you've got 3-4 teams in the mix.
Right. Like,
Even the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers have a fairly decent. We were talking about it earlier. The Chargers have a fairly decent team. It's
they have some really great players. They have a good team. It's like they just need to
gel a little bit, I think.
The Chargers, I feel, might just need to kind of get over that little bit of a hump, you know?
Yeah.
They have their young quarterback. He's obviously going to do well. They have a great running back. They got some really good receivers. And they got a good defense. I think it's just finding maybe, like, I don't even necessarily want to say it's finding that next one or two guys to, like, help fill that team up. It's more of, can they just get that chemistry together and be able to get past these other teams that are just stacked in the West?
Oh, definitely.
Like, because
that's the key right there.
Well, I know obviously everybody's like, we got to get past the Chiefs, and it's like, yeah, okay, the Chiefs are the kings of the West right now, but like, the Raiders are no slouch.
Oh, no.
Right now, the Broncos are surprising a hell of a lot of fucking people. Yeah. That can go right into the next topic I have here. Are the Broncos a legitimate contender again?
Possibly. I mean, I think Teddy Bridgewater is definitely a step up from Drew Lock. It's a shame Jerry Jeudy went down in the first week, because can you imagine how good that team would be if they still had him too? I mean, granted, I'm not saying that Sutton and Fant aren't good players. Obviously, they are.
No, they have very good players in the skill position.
Can you imagine if they would have that other
What's
weapon
this
there?
going on here?
What's going on?
Read unread notifications. Oh, okay, it's just notifications. Well, no, because I saw that the live stream was a little choppy there for a bit, so I was kind of like, "Oh crap, what's going on?" But no, according to that, we're all good.
Oh, good.
But no, like they still have a very good team. Like they have a lot of really good skill position players, and Teddy. Like to me, it's like, isn't it kind of a shame to see what's going on with Teddy? Kind of,
yeah. I mean, he doesn't get the respect, I think.
No, I feel like, let's see a lot of these guys saying, put some respect on Teddy Bridgewater's name. Like, the stuff that guy's gone through. He went and had one of the craziest freaking knee injuries in the history of the fucking game. Comes back. Okay? And I understand that the Vikings, it was a 2-year process. The Vikings didn't want to wait, so they went and they got Kirk Cousins. Fine, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm not going to doubt that business decision. But when he was with the Saints, it was like, okay, clearly this guy can be your heir apparent. Let this guy sit behind Drew Brees. He's one of the best in the league now. Let him sit behind him. Let him learn. And I mean, that's exactly what he did, but it's like, why couldn't they? I would have loved to have seen him be in that Saints position over Jameis. Could you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, dude. That would have been disgusting. But,
insane.
like, in Carolina, I feel like they just gave up on him. In my opinion. I felt like they saw their opportunity to get a guy like Darnold and just passed him off. Like, well, on to the next team. And now he's sitting here with the Broncos, and he's top 10 in fucking fantasy stats. He's got a really good team. He's 2-0.
Yeah.
He's on top of the fucking world right now.
QBR, he's ranked number 2.
Yeah, he's number 2 in QBR.
That is pretty surprising, other than because you wouldn't figure. No offense to Teddy Bridgewater, but I mean, most people would think Mahomes would be up there, and the usual.
Usually,
suspects.
The usual suspects, the guys that you would expect to be up there. You expect to see Aaron Rodgers up there. You expect to see Josh Allen, your Patrick Mahomes. I mean, hell, even looking at what Dak's numbers are, because Dak's a pretty consistent quarterback. Yeah. Like, you don't expect to see a guy like Teddy on there, but the thing...
He's solid. He's consistent.
The one thing that I always loved about Teddy is he doesn't really make mistakes.
No.
He really doesn't. Like, he literally will try to either throw the ball... He'll either throw the ball away, or he's going to take that short play instead of trying to force it.
Oh, yeah.
He's always been that way. Even going all the way back to college, he didn't force a ball if he didn't feel comfortable with it. And it's like, that's like those things about an NFL quarterback that you love to see.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, you see these guys who are gunslingers trying to take shots, but with Teddy, it's like, well, screw it. If I have another option, I'm going to take it.
Well,
like,
definitely.
I don't want to be the guy that's going to be known for throwing 3 picks and costing us the game because I wanted to be a show-off. That's not Teddy.
No, he's a team player.
Right. Like, I think the Broncos... Looking at it right now, the Broncos are probably, at least after week 2, the Broncos are probably the one team right now that I feel are going to give the Chiefs the most grief.
I think you could be right.
Like, and that's not saying that the Chargers and the Raiders can't do it, because they can. Like, to me, it's like looking at it right now, like we were talking before a couple of weeks back on the podcast, about how the NFC West and the AFC West are literally the most stacked divisions in football.
They are.
Like, any one of those teams and at any point could take it.
Definitely. I
like,
think you're right.
It's crazy, dude. Like,
yep.
I
don't know. It's...
to me, it's like, do the Broncos... Okay, do the Broncos have enough to get past, like, say, the Buccaneers and the Super Bowl? No. Like, hell, I don't even know if they necessarily have enough to get past the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't, because the Chiefs are definitely a team that is built for the playoffs right now.
Exactly.
But is this a team that, once they get a little bit more experience, they could go ahead and put themselves right back into that mix?
Oh, definitely. Yep.
That defense is still pretty damn scary, and fucking Von Miller is still going out doing Von Miller things.
I just heard that Bradley Chubb hurt his ankle, I believe, a re-aggravated ankle injury. I'm not really sure if he's going to be out.
Yeah, see, I didn't see anything on that, so like.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big one there.
That is one of their bigger guys, yeah.
So hopefully if they can, any team can stay injury prone, I mean, obviously it's going to be to their benefit, but.
Right. I think, honestly, I feel like if it is anything, like I said, I haven't looked into it, so I really don't know. I mean, hopefully it's only a couple of weeks, because he's a really good player. I'd like to see him keep going at it.
I'd like to see the Packers get him.
Oh my gosh. The only thing is if in order to get him, I don't know, man, like looking at that trade still and then looking at what Rodgers did against the Lions, like, I think it's funny how everybody's all like, oh, he's back, and it's like, dude, he beat the Lions, and did you guys not see the first half of that game? Were we watching the same first half that y'all were watching? Because, like, in my opinion...
The ghost of Curly Lambeau.
Goes to Curly Lambeau probably shitting himself looking at the fucking Lions walking in there.
What the hell was that?
Winning, like...
What the hell was that?
Well, it's like, dude, like the first half they were playing meh. The defense didn't want to show up. And then the second half, Rodgers just started going off. Jones started going off. Defense started going off. Like, and it's kind of like, okay, good. This is the Packers I want to see. But, like... Could you guys maybe get it going at the beginning of the game? Like when
San Francisco is going to be a big test.
We're losing to San Francisco.
I think we are too. But
we're not going to win that game.
But if you look at it, running back wise, San Francisco is hurting right now. McNasty's going to be out. Mitchell's a little bit tweaked, I heard, as far as in the injury. I think it's his ankle, maybe.
Yeah, they said he's day-to-day currently.
So, I mean, if they can stop the run, I mean, we have the tools to... we have a good secondary is what I'm trying to say. You know
what? Something that... And this is just something that completely came to mind here. That I'm over it. I'm tired of seeing the guy getting fucking smoked. The Packers need to cut Kevin King.
Yes.
They need to get the fuck rid of him. I am sick and tired.
The King is dead. Not literally. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, I mean, it's a proper analogy, though. All last year, he got blown by. Got blown by in the playoffs. This year, he's been getting blown by, okay? He allowed a number 4 receiver to run past him and just, smoke him. They're number 4. He's supposed to be... At one time, Kevin King was our number 1 fucking cornerback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not anymore.
And now I honestly don't even feel like he deserves a spot on the practice squad.
Do you think Eric Stokes will be starting, pretty soon?
Holy shit, dropped frames. I think that they should put Stokes in. I really do. I think they...
Guy's fast.
He could fly. Ooh. I know part of the reason why they didn't start throwing him in right away is because they wanted him to learn defense a little bit more, have him kind of figure out his position with Jair and freaking Amos and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. But, when you got a guy who doesn't get blown on that bad... And then you got fucking Kevin King sitting here getting fucking smoked by everybody. Literally. It's pretty sad when in the past, what is it? Freaking 8 games that Kevin King has fucking played, he's gotten smoked more than a fucking blunt at a Snoop Dogg concert. Okay?
That's a lot of people.
That dude has gotten bubbled more than my bong on 420. All right? For real. It is fucking ridiculous. And they need to get rid of him. Gone. Dump him off somewhere else. Or, in all honesty...
Houston Texans. Maybe a cornerback in your future.
I'm out. Done. No.
I had to go there.
Yeah, cool. Let them go ahead and have 2 washed up fucking Packers defenders on there. Yeah. Well, okay, I didn't mind Christian Kirksey. No. He just couldn't stay healthy. Great player, just can't stay healthy.
No, he's
when he was on the field, he was getting it done. But
but he played 9 games in 2 years.
Yeah, that was
That's
rough.
Pretty rough. Yeah,
very rough. I mean,
and for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine,
But yeah, jumping into the next little topic I got here for the opening stuff. How fucking jinxed are the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, man.
Kick, dude. I'll admit it, I did not expect Minnesota to win against that Arizona team.
No.
Because that Arizona team is no joke right now, guys. But, woof. Minnesota can't get a kicker to save their lives.
No. Where's Gary Anderson when you need him? Perhaps Jan Stenerud.
You know what's really sad is that part of me kind of wants to be like, yo, Zimmer, go ahead and try to offer fucking Vinatieri some money to come out of retirement. So maybe you'll have somebody that can actually hit something more than 20 goddamn yards. But the thing is that's what's crazy, dude, is anytime that I ever see a Vikings game and that shit comes down to a kick on the Vikings end, you might as well just turn that TV off.
Oh, yeah.
You know that game is done. You know that it doesn't matter who the fuck is standing there, okay? You can have fucking Harrison Bunker or fucking... Tucker. Yeah, you have Tucker, fucking Koo, fucking Gay, any of these guys that are top end fucking kickers right now standing there, they're gonna shank that son of a bitch 20 yards to the left.
Oh yeah.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's just a jinx.
The Vikings cannot catch a break. And there's that Packers fan part of me that's just kind of But there's that other part of me that's dude, that fucking sucks, man. I feel bad for these guys.
Yeah.
Because it's that Vikings team, they played hard.
Oh, yeah.
They played hard against a Super Bowl contending team. And y'all literally got screwed because of a couple of kicks.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins left it all out on the field. That receiving core defense, the defense didn't do that great, but again, you're going up against a top 3 freaking scoring offense.
Dalvin Cook had over 100 yards.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook had a great game. Freaking that receiving core had a good game. They did everything they could to fight, and it just wasn't enough.
Who is Kevin Osborne?
Who?
Kevin Osborne. He's a wide receiver for the Vikings. Had a big game. He had over 100 yards. I'd never heard of him before.
See, I didn't really watch that particular game. I saw everything that happened after the fact, and all of the coverage that I saw, they were showing Dalvin Cook was having a good game. They were showing that Kirk Cousins was having a strong performance with Thielen and frickin' Jefferson. They were showing Kyler going and doing the Kyler stuff, and then they showed that fucking
Kyler
kick.
Murray is sick.
That guy,
so great.
Human joystick.
Yep.
He is. He is a fucking human joystick, and it is crazy to watch. Like, how is... I don't get how that dude is that good. Like, he is so hard to tackle. He's such a little squirrely fucking dude who just zips it around. And, like, literally, when I watch him play, it's like, oh my God, it's like I'm watching somebody play fucking Madden. Because he'll dip out one dude, run around to the other side of the fucking field, throw cross body for 40 yards and hit fucking D-hop. It's
How
like,
does that happen?
It only happens in Madden. That's why when people see it happening for real, it's like, what? Like, is this, like, all these kids who grew up playing Madden are now starting to enter into the NFL? Like, this is like what would happen if you had all those Battlefield and Call of Duty kids going over to fucking Afghanistan to fucking go to war.
What about D&D? Could you imagine that? Like, going against orcs and...
Well, I mean, that just kind of feels like Blood Bowl.
Well, that's true.
Like, well, I mean, that actually is like Blood Bowl. I mean, you have like orcs going up against humans or like elves going up against orcs or some shit like that. Like, because that's what it is. It's kind of like a mix of Warhammer and football.
Oh.
So, like, yeah, that's literally the thing of it. It's like your goal is to get across the field. It's like they have the different... it's like a turn-based type thing. So, like, you'll have your team, you set it up, you gotta have different players in particular zones. It's whether or not you get a kick or receive it, and you have a certain amount of time to get across the fucking field and get that fucking touchdown, and hope that those guys don't try to box your players in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but, like, yeah, completely off topic. But, yeah,
sorry,
that's what it is.
I didn't mean that.
Well, no, I don't, yeah, like, that's, but, yeah, like, the Vikings are so... I feel like the Vikings, yet again, are going to be one of the best teams that will not come close to making the playoffs this year.
I think you're probably right. I think the Vikings are a few players away on defense from being that next level team. I mean, they're really close. You can tell they're really close.
Well, like, here's one thing that I gotta say on this, man. If the Packers weren't as good as they are right now, the Vikings would be winning the North right now. The Vikings would be the kings of the North if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers. Straight up. As a Packer fan, I'll wholeheartedly admit that because the Vikings are that good.
Personally, I've never been sold on Kirk Cousins.
Me either.
I think a different quarterback. Could you imagine like a Russell Wilson in Minnesota?
I mean, that would be scary.
That would be scary. But I don't think Kirk Cousins is that type of quarterback. He's good. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's not an elite quarterback.
You know, I was watching a thing on NFL Network. It was like a week ago. I think it was actually on Good Morning Football, where they were talking about how Kirk Cousins is, like, what does Kirk Cousins... No, it was on NFL Fantasy Live. Strangely enough, it was fucking Adam Rank saying this. Go fucking figure. That how Kirk Cousins is literally the most underrated fantasy QB right now and has been for the last couple of years. And, like, I had Kirk Cousins on my team last year. He won me a few games. He was part of that push that I tried to make. But, like, and yeah, when you look at the stats, he is one of the more consistent fantasy QBs. He finishes off at, like, QB 12. So, like, when you look at that, yeah, sure. But, like, also I'm looking at it like the big thing that I have an issue with when it comes to Kirk Cousins is that, he's kind of like me on fucking... He was like me in my 20s, dude. Fucking a bar night, fucking 2 a.m. Can never close. Just couldn't ever close the fucking deal, man. He can't get that part of it done. He can do great. He can buy those first few drinks, go ahead and butter everything up, maybe possibly score a number here and there. But when it comes to being like, hey, you want to come back to my place? Nope. Nope. You get left off for the fucking hotter guy.
Yep.
You know, the hotter guy who fucking spit on her and fucking took her, you know, called her a fucking cow 2 hours before. But, you know, that's what happens. That's what it is. That's the best analogy I can see about Kirk Cousins for me. Dude doesn't know how to close. He can't ever, like, when it comes to those close games, and it's a shame because it came to that game this week because he actually came really close to closing. But they just got swiped of him, you know? One of his buddies had to come up and go and piss on the girl's leg, and now she don't want nothing to do with anybody. You know? Like
she's over that. You know?
Right? You know what? She's just going to go, and she's going to go back home with her girls. They're going to go watch Notebook and cry or something. I don't know. I'm not...
Drink some Chardonnay.
Go drink some White Claws.
White Claws. Yeah. I hate White Claws.
You know
Although, if you want to endorse this, I will be your best. Well, I won't be your best friend, but I'll be in there. You know.
I tried a White Claw not that long ago. One day when Shonda was over, because she drinks White Claws sometimes. She really likes those seltzers, so I decided to try one time, and like it wasn't bad, but like it definitely wasn't for me. Like I was kind of like, to me, it kind of, you know how like when you get the, like, I hate to say it like this because I know she's watching and everything. I'm sorry, babe, but like those things, they taste like TV static. Like, I feel like the moment I took a drink of it, I think of that point in Poltergeist when the TV just... like, that's what it felt like to me.
Oh, my
God. But, so, the next topic here I got is... Yeah, let's get back into it. We're getting a little distracted here.
Sorry.
No, I'm doing it too, man. What the fuck is happening to New York football?
Train wreck. That's what's happening.
Putting it lightly.
Is a train wreck, yeah.
Putting it lightly, but like, I don't get it. I know you and I were talking about this last night. They have the biggest market in all of sports.
Oh, completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys got all this fucking money.
And why aren't you spending it on good free agents? I mean,
well, like, and that's both teams. Like, that's the Giants and the Jets. Like, I don't understand what it is about these guys that they continuously make these dipshit, boneheaded decisions.
Yeah.
I just don't... like, you draft Zach Wilson, and you still don't do anything to get him any help. Yeah, like, great. You guys try to help him, get him a nice receiver. You guys trying to get him some running backs. Cool. What about his offensive line? Do you want Zach Wilson to be like Joe Burrow last year?
I forgot the offensive line.
Right, like...
You need a good offensive line, people.
Yeah, and they still aren't doing anything for that fucking defense.
No.
Like, the Giants have been doing, like, little things.
Little things, yeah.
To help. Like, they're trying to keep Saquon, which, cool.
Yeah.
Them signing Kenny Galladay.
That was a
smart pickup.
Although, Galladay's injury prone.
He is, but when you look at all the wide receivers that were kicking around at that point, really, though, like, he was probably one of the best options available.
Well, yeah.
So, like, it made sense for them to sign him. But, like, outside of Bradbury and Martinez, who do they have on defense?
Nobody.
Not really. Oh, they have a tackle that made the Pro Bowl last year. I can't remember his name, a defensive tackle.
Yeah, I know.
So you got one guy on your line, one guy in your linebacker core, one dude in your secondary that can do something. Cool.
Mediocrity. Screw you.
Mediocrity. That's not mediocrity, dude.
That's just like below me. That's just,
like that's way below mediocrity. Like, you, outside of actual Giants fans, who can actually name some of those other guys that are on that team?
No one.
Like,
the only reason I know Blake Martinez is
because he was with the Packers. And the only reason why I know about Bradbury is because I actually started a fucking thing on Madden an actual little franchise that I was building up around Penn State players.
Oh, okay.
And I figured, well, Saquon was going to be him being that guy. It's like, well, fuck it. Let me go ahead and, like, I literally took it and I traded. I got, it was crazy because I got that group from freaking Penn State from a few years back. I had Saquon, Trace McSorley, Chris Godwin, and Mike Gesicki.
Nice.
All in that Giants offense.
Nice.
And it's funny because people are like, why would you get Trace McSorley? And it's like, well, you throw a little bit behind the guy. The dude was awesome with these three guys to throw to. And, yeah. But, like, I feel like New York, like, it's crazy because when, like, I look at it, it looks like the Giants have the better personnel.
True.
Whereas the Jets have the better coaching.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Because, like, the guy that they have, I'm totally spacing on it, and I'm going to Google it right now, the Jets coach, is one of the better defensive minds.
Yeah, who is that guy? I can't remember offhand.
I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah, I did too. There are so many new coaches in the league that it's hard to keep track of them all.
Right. Well, the thing is that this guy, once the lag gets over itself.
It's probably my house.
Oh, Robert Salah, or Salah, or I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
Salah.
Yeah.
Salah.
Well, I saw a thing on freaking NFL Network last night. You know that he is the very first ever Muslim American
Really?
head coach?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Which I thought that was a rather cool.
Oh, that's really yeah.
Yeah, that's a rather cool thing. And what I thought,
think it's cool.
Yeah, and like what's kind of crazy is like his very first game happened to be okay. I saw some people getting really pissy about this, but like when you see the real true story about it, it's actually really, really wholesome. He's from New York, and his very first game as a head coach was on September 11th in New York.
Oh, wow.
And him being from New York, and I guess, I can't remember exactly how the story went, but his brother was somebody who died saving people on 9/11.
Oh, really?
Like,
oh,
yeah,
wow.
if I remember the story correctly, I might be completely off on this, and if I am, I'm sorry. But, like, his brother actually was going and trying to help get people out of the towers. Like, I guess he was in one of the towers, working for a company in there, and he was trying to help people out.
Oh, wow.
And in the process of it, he lost his life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was always, it was kind of like a lot of things going together for this guy. And it was kind of like, well, that's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that you're walking into the fucking circus tent of the NFL organization-wise.
Yeah, they're both really, well, I don't know. They're both kind of bad.
Well, I mean, the Giants, I mean, have at least one in recent memory. You know, because they got 2 Super Bowls with Eli.
Right.
You know, they made the playoffs a bunch of times.
The Jets got one. Joe Willie Namath.
Yeah, one of the most overrated quarterbacks of all time.
He was. He was definitely. You okay?
Yeah, just swallowed wrong. I'm on.
Okay.
But yeah, no. The last time the Jets were even close to making it was when they had fucking Dirty Sanchez,
Oh yeah.
fucking Captain Butt Fumble. You know.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah. Like, the Jets are a long way out. I'll admit, though, with having Robert Salah as their new coach.
Probably a better move, yeah.
Well, the one thing that I like about him, and this is one of those things that, like, I really hope they do, is that he's a defensive guy. You know? He was the mastermind behind that 49ers defense with Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah, him and Kyle Shanahan came up together.
Oh, okay.
So, like, yeah. So, like, he was a defensive coordinator for the Niners. He's worked with a lot of teams on a lot of teams' defenses. He was with Houston back when J.J. Watt was there during the Bill O'Brien days.
Oh, okay,
like, he's worked for some really good defenses. So, like, he's got that type of mindset to maybe try to turn that defense around in New York for the Jets. I would hope that would be the case.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm also hoping that while you guys are trying to build this freaking next big time defense, you don't let your offense fall.
And also, I mean, anytime you have a rookie quarterback going, you need a good offensive line. It's a
You gotta
security
protect
blanket.
them. Well, yeah, like especially with a number 2 pick.
Oh yeah,
You spent the number 2 pick on this guy, and you guys aren't doing anything to protect your investment.
Who does that sound like? Last year, who was the Zach Miller from last year?
Joe Burrow.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, they had no line, great talent,
Yep.
expected to do a lot of really good, great things, and then the moment that they realized, oh, I don't have an offensive line, his fucking knee explodes. Like,
Zach Wilson. I screwed that up. I said Zach Miller.
oh, yeah, no, it's all good. Trust me, man, with all the typos and mistakes that we make on here. You know what? Yeah, I know, we're going to make a lot of mistakes on here. We're going to say a lot of fucked up shit. Sometimes I'll say one thing when I'm meaning something else. It happens. Like, meh.
Sometimes I scream at squirrels. It happens.
Same.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times where I'll see a dog barking at a squirrel. I'll bark at that squirrel too. Fuck that squirrel.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Fuck that squirrel. I don't give a shit about your nuts.
Oh my god.
I can't believe I got that as clean as I did.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I don't give a fuck about your stupid acorns. Okay, so bring it into the last topic of our opening here. Is Cordero Patterson honestly the best running back in Atlanta right now? Like, honestly,
I don't
is
think
this
it's
happening?
Mike Davis.
Is this happening again,
Yeah.
where a team is going to have a running back horse so badly that they have to grab a gadget dude off
Yep.
of the fucking wide receiver room and be like, go play? Like,
got
really?
Nothing else.
Really? Is this the
We
2014
got nothing.
Packers again?
Yep. Exactly.
When we had put fucking Ty Montgomery in as our starting running back because nobody else could
was
do it. Well, because nobody else could do anything.
No, exactly.
Like, Mike Davis had a good year last year. He's still expected to be getting 10 points in standard scoring this week. They're still talking about this guy as if he's their number one. But Cordero Patterson's getting all the plays. Mike Davis gets the ball, he might get a few yards. Cordero Patterson gets the ball, he's at least going to try to make a fucking play. And it's like, how that just goes to speak, how bad is this Atlanta team? To where they have to grab one of their lower end running backs and throw them into the running back room being like, go do it.
You know, and I don't think Mike Davis is a bad running back.
Neither do
Maybe
I.
he doesn't fit that team. That's kind of what I was thinking the other day, because he just really hasn't looked, what I've seen, he hasn't looked real comfortable in that offense. It doesn't seem to gel.
I mean, no offense, dude. Would you look comfortable in that offense
Well,
with that
no, I
ragtag
guess
offensive line?
Yeah.
Fucking absolute joke of a fucking defense.
Yeah.
Like, literally, your 3 best players on that entire team is a quarterback on his fucking farewell tour.
Yeah, Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, who's one of the best receivers
yeah.
in the league, and a rookie tight end who has not proven a goddamn thing in this league
Yep.
yet. Those are your top 3 guys.
Exactly. No,
Like,
you're absolutely right.
what would you expect? Like, it wouldn't matter if you threw fucking Derrick Henry back there. I wouldn't expect Derrick Henry to do much behind that offensive line. Well, okay, Derrick Henry is literally a freak of fucking nature. So, like,
I mean, look at what he did against Seattle. That was insane.
yeah. All that in the second half,
Oh my
too.
God.
In the one half of football, the
Jeez.
dude had almost
200 and some odd yards.
Yeah, he had 200 some yards and fucking 3 touchdowns in a single
yeah.
half of football. That is redonkulous.
Oh, exactly.
Like, I remember seeing this thing. It's kind of off topic, but it's this conversation I saw some of these fantasy guys talking about is with like them making a rule in their fantasy leagues to not allow anybody to have Derrick Henry.
Really?
Yeah, like actually, like, and apparently this is a conversation that certain fantasy guys have been having. It's because Derrick Henry he's a cheat code.
Well, yeah.
For fantasy teams. It's like, you know, he's literally the most beefcake fucking dude out there.
Right.
You know, clear-cut fucking number 1 pick in pretty much everybody's minds. Like,
Well,
like they that's literally the thing. It's like you.
And he got 55 receiving yards, which is very on Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, very
of him.
uncharacteristic. Because he's usually just a straight up runner,
Right. I just when I saw that whole thing of like whether or not they should have him.
I don't know about that. I mean,
to me, okay, when I see that, to me, I'm just like, okay, guys, quit being fucking salty fantasy owners.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of reminds me of the South Park episode with the oh god, what was that? Randy Marsh. They were talking. They were talking about what was that about? Some football with like balloon and like
Sarcastable.
Sarcastable.
Oh my gosh! I just watched that episode not that long ago.
I did too.
That one was great. Yeah. Go Broncos! Oh, God, dude. Yeah, like to me, when I see that, it just kind of brings out that douchebag fantasy mentality because like. I see a lot of guys out there that are fantasy people. Like, it's kind of a shame to see how toxic fantasy football owners are nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I see some of these guys, like, I see a lot of guys that are kind of like how we do it. They try to have fun with their leagues, some friendly shit talking, or coming out with, like, one of the things I think is that rather cool about it, but it also can be kind of toxic, is they have really creative ways of really creative tasks for people who win and or lose. So like if you win, you get something really, really crazy, like outside of like whatever your trophy is. But if you're like at the bottom, you got to do something really fucked up.
Oh,
and like obviously, like if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But like whenever I see
sounds
somebody,
like the league.
That's kind of how those were the vibes I got off of it. Was kind of like the league. But the one thing that I saw when I see these guys who are like, well, should we maybe have a conversation of not letting Derrick Henry be on anybody's team? These sound like the same type of dudes who will say that sort of thing, but then will cause a shady trade towards the end of the year to make a playoff push. Kind of like what we had to experience in year one. Like, that's what that reminds me of. And I've been seeing people justifying that sort of thing, that type of behavior, being like, well, what does it matter? And I'm like, it matters a lot, actually. Because you're literally allowing somebody who played like garbage to give away their best players to some douchebag who's going to make the playoffs.
Right. You're sacrificing the integrity of your league.
Yeah, you're like literally all that is to me is saying, hey, we're nothing more than a group of chads who's going to do anything we can to fuck everybody over out of winning.
Oh yeah, exactly.
No, like literally no fucking, like there's no sportsmanship in that. There's none, none at all.
It's just collusion in a lot of ways.
Like it pisses me off. Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Sorry, just got a random notification there. I was trying to be like, what the fuck was this all about? Well, yeah, like, I just see that. Like, whenever I see that sort of thing with people, like, if that's the sort of shit that you do, stop playing fantasy football, in my opinion. I don't care if that's half the fucking player base. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything other than showing how much of a piece of shit you are.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, I think it should be as competitive as possible instead of, like, making really stupid trades. Like, I admit I offered a really, really bad trade.
Well, that's why, like, after year one, we made that rule of no trading after, like, what, week 11?
Yeah, exactly.
No more trades at that point. Like, sorry, not sorry. I don't care how bad your team, like, no. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, and that's the thing is it's like, is that a dickheaded move to do? Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, if it's securing the integrity of fairness,
right?
Because like it's one thing if I lose to somebody who like when I lost both years in the championship to you, there was no foul play, there was no collusion, there was no it's like
they were epic battles.
They were epic fucking slugfests where we were going shot for shot with each other. I would rather legitimately lose Because to me, it's like that first year where we didn't legitimately lose, where
Oh,
Ben and I
Lord.
legitimately got fucking swindled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's not to say that the guys that were there in the championship couldn't have made it there on their own.
Right.
They very well could have. But they literally cheated to get there.
Right, exactly.
You know, like, so I will say that till my dying fucking breath, and I don't care how mad they get about it. They cheated.
Yeah.
Plain
And they're
simple.
not in the league anymore.
Well,
so
no, they're not in the
doesn't
league
matter.
anymore. I still talk with them. Like, they're still
Yeah.
decent dudes.
Well, yeah, I'm not
It's-
saying that.
It's just, it's like whenever I see that, and I know they're going to try to say that they didn't. I know he's tried to tell me multiple times that's not how it works going to any other fantasy league. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but I've been in fantasy leagues since,
Oh, yeah.
since around the time you were born, bro. Like, that's, like, you think that's the norm. It's really
not.
fucking not.
No.
Like, that might be the norm with the kids.
Yeah.
But people who actually know what the fuck they're doing aren't going to put up with that shit.
No.
Like, and that's one of those things, like, if you're in one of those leagues, man, where you're sitting there with a bunch of dudes, we're pulling shady shit at the end to try to help a certain person leave.
I almost
Leave.
quit.
Yeah.
You talked me out of it. I was really, really contemplating it because I was really pissed off.
You weren't the only one. I was considering it too, but I was thinking, fuck that. Let's just try to start a clean slate and see if we could do something better. You know, and I feel like for the most part we've been doing that.
Yeah, I think it's really competitive this year. This year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, considering when you and me are 0-2 in that league, yeah, that's saying something.
Let's not talk about that right now. Let's not talk about that. Let's go ahead and...
I didn't mean it.
I know.
I just thought, hey, let's lay it on the line. I mean, I am doing awful in that league right now.
Same.
And I've won it 3 out of 4 years. So, I mean, there's that. Anyway.
I guess that just shows like how crazy this shit can get.
I've been wrong about Antonio Gibson this year. Completely wrong. I thought he was going to go off this year, and he might, but he hasn't proven anything to me yet.
I mean, it's been really rough for him. It really had. It's been rough for a lot of different guys that I thought were going to
Zeke in week 1 really killed me.
Yeah, but Zeke redeemed himself in week 2.
Yeah,
he went out and started doing Zeke things again.
So let's hope that Zeke is more
I was
like...
hoping for that because he had such a tough matchup in week 1 against the Bucs.
Well, and look what Mike Davis did against Tampa Bay last week.
Right. Right, though.
That front seven is nasty. Nasty people.
Right, they are.
They're just completely nasty.
But
anyway.
Yeah, start closing out hour 1 here. There is not a whole heck of a lot that we got here for fantasy advice, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I got 5
You're
receivers.
on your own this week.
Well, it's not even necessarily fucking on their own. It's just, it's really hard to figure out matchups when all of the, like, everybody's got a really tough matchup. You know, you got the Bucs going to L.A. You got the Green Bay going to fucking San Francisco. There's only a few matchups that I see here that are like could possibly help you. Starting off with running backs, I got 3 guys here, okay? Number 1 is Saquon going up against Atlanta. They're at home, they're in MetLife. This is what I feel is going to be the one game that Saquon is going to take it up to that next level this season. This is the one where he's got his shot. Okay, you're facing a terrible defense. You are at home. Do something. Like, this is your shot, Saquon. Take it, man. Next guy I have is Najee.
Oh, yeah.
Najee going against Cincinnati at home.
Yeah.
Now, Cincinnati has been...
better.
They're better. And it looks like their defense is willing to go out there and fight hard.
Yeah.
But the Steelers team is still no joke. Najee finally showed... He showed me, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, he won Angry Ones this week.
Really?
Yeah, on Good Morning Football. I actually fucking tweeted out to fucking Kyle Brandt. Never got a response, but whatever. We're low on the totem pole. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. But I straight up said, dude, when I saw that one catch that he had, it was for like a 10-yard play. He literally grabbed this dude fucking wrecked him down on the ball, made him look silly, planted him, and then ran out carrying another dude and got it. Like, got it like a nice 10-yard gain for a first down. It was a great run.
Really?
And he won the scepter. Yeah, he won that angry run. And it's like, his stats were great. Like, he only had, like, I think it was like 50 yards rushing. He had a 30-yard receiving touchdown. But he was solid. Like, he didn't have a whole heck of a lot of lost plays. He was willing to catch the ball. He was productive out of the backfield. Like, he had a really good game. And that was against a good team. Because that Raiders defense is pretty damn good.
They're a lot better than they were last year.
Exactly.
Sure.
And Cincinnati's a better team, but, like, it's still Cincinnati.
Right.
You know, it's still Cincinnati. Okay, the only way that Pittsburgh loses this game is if Ben Roethlisberger completely screws the pooch.
And if maybe Ben Roethlisberger doesn't play, he's got that left pec injury.
Oh, he got some pain in his titty?
Yeah, he's got... Yeah. They're saying that they might have to make adjustments. So, does that mean Mason Rudolph is going to be the quarterback? Or Hopkins?
Oh, Hoskins?
Hoskins, not Hopkins. I was thinking of...
well, I guess we'll kind of see, man. I mean...
Silence of the Lambs.
I got... but yeah, no, I think that Cincinnati matchup's going to be really good.
I think you're right.
I think that's going to be a good one. The last guy I got running backs wise, and this is obviously outside of your Derrick Henrys and your Christian McCaffreys, guys. I'm not going to throw guys who are going to be
like.
It doesn't matter who those guys are facing. You fucking start them, okay?
Yeah.
The last guy,
if you don't,
right? Like, it's why I don't ever put Patrick Mahomes in my list for quarterbacks.
No,
or Aaron Rodgers, okay? You don't do it because you know
that's just a given.
That's given.
I mean, if you don't
guys.
know that, you don't know football.
Right. The last guy I got here is Josh Jacobs facing Miami. Okay, obviously we were talking about this Raiders team has been doing a lot better. A lot of people were sold on this Miami team being a lot better. I don't see it.
No,
I don't.
No.
I don't see it right now.
And Tua is out.
Yeah, Tua's down. So that means their defense is going to have to be picking up a lot, and they're going into Las Vegas. So
I still say LA.
I know, like I still it's going to take a little bit to really get used to. But yeah, they're going into Vegas. I don't see it. I see the Raiders finishing out after this next week being 3-0 and keep on going to the next. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Nope, I agree.
But diving into okay, so the one guy that I have to bench this week. So if you got this guy, I didn't want to have a big line of bench guys. I only got one person to bench, and honestly, it's basically the Bears. Okay. They have a horrendous matchup this week. And
all season they've got tough matchups.
They do. I have David Montgomery here as a no start. And I don't know why I'm spacing on who they're playing.
They're playing the Browns.
That's it, the Browns. And they're going to Cleveland. It's like, dude, that was the same thing from last night. I put that down there and I didn't even write it down. It's just like, I should write that down so I don't fuck it up the podcast. Hi. I'm Steve. I'm kind of a D at times. But
we are not slick.
No, not really.
This is all just by the seat of our pants.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip and
exactly.
hoping here. But yeah, no, like avoid that Browns team. Avoid the Bears team going up against the Browns. Like, the Browns are no joke. That defense is scary. Like, if they were in Chicago, I might be willing to give them a bit of a pass. But, like, it's kind of the same thing, like, why I was thinking about possibly benching Mike Evans this week. Because they're going into SoFi to face the Rams. It's like, oh, dude, that Rams defense is no joke, and they're going into SoFi. Like, yeah, Tampa Bay is a fucking beast, but it's like, do you really want to take that chance? Like, the matchups here are freaking nuts. And so, yeah, avoid Bears players if you can. If you got David Montgomery, you got Allen Robinson, this might be a good week for you guys to try to find something else. Receivers, though, I got Marvin Jones going up against Arizona. And now, mind you, Arizona's a great team, but Arizona's going to Jackson. Jones, he don't want to sleep on.
Oh, no.
And I have a feeling that Marvin Jones is probably going to be one of the only guys that's really going to be able to get anything done against that Arizona defense.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be queuing up on him, and Shark and everything, but, like, it seems to me like Jones has solidified that number one spot. Like, he's like, I am the guy.
Yep.
You
Finally, that they figured that out.
They got something.
Yeah. And Sheralt isn't probably going to be playing this week because he's injured.
Right, I saw that too.
I think Shark is a good receiver, but I don't think he's Jones caliber. I really don't.
Same. I don't. Feel
and they can't seem to get this figured out with James Robinson. Either use him as a running back or put Carlos Hyde in all the time. I mean, it's stupid. It makes no sense to me. You got a guy that last year came out of nowhere and lit up the league, James Robinson. And now you're taking Carlos Hyde and you're using him as a rusher? I just don't get it. I mean, James Robinson was pretty decent as a running back last year.
This kind of goes into how ridiculous Urban Meyer is.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Like, Urban Meyer does... He's going to get ran out of the league in a couple of years. I give it 3 tops. Honestly, I do. I give it 3. 3 years, and then he's going to be gone. Like, I don't see it happening.
No. Not like that. I mean, why would you not use James Robinson more? I mean...
Yeah, why wouldn't you use the guy that's got the hustle? That's embarrassing.
Ridiculous.
That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, granted, they were playing... and they had to come back, but still, I mean, why are you using Carlos Hyde, who... I mean, I'm no offense to Carlos Hyde if he's watching and listening. Because, obviously the league and I'm not. So I got nothing to say there, but he's kind of injury prone.
The one thing I've noticed about Carlos Hyde is that he typically does better in offenses that are designed for... Not designed for these offshoot gadget plays and shit like that, like fucking Urban Meyer does. Because Urban Meyer's literally playing... He pretty much just grabbed and just slapped that motherfucker down and like, here's what we're going to do! It worked for you, Tim Tebow, back in the fucking 2000 game, national champion, Tim Tebow! And it's just like... No, that shit doesn't work in the NFL. No. You want to know what happens when you try to do that shit? Your quarterback's going to get lit the fuck up. Okay? You can't do stuff like that. Okay. I'm sorry. There's a lot of guys who do a lot of read option type stuff.
Oh, well, yeah.
But, if you try to break out a triple option in front of Aaron Donald, whoever has that ball is going to have it shoved up their ass in 3.2 seconds. Yep. Okay? You try doing that against fucking Derek Watt, or TJ Watt, maybe 2 seconds. Okay? Oh, yeah. He's not going to shove that football up that guy's ass, but he's also going to fucking rip out something and probably eat it in front of them.
Oh, by the way, TJ Watt has a groin injury.
Just so he's expected.
I don't know if he's going to miss. Is he?
Probably, yeah. Didn't you say it was day-to-day?
Well, they said he was out for the Raiders game. I think he sustained it in the Raiders game, and then they took him out.
Ah, okay.
They worded it really weird when I was reading it. I don't know. But, yeah, so check that out if you got the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, because if you do...
You might want to take a look.
Yeah, you might want to take a look at that.
Well, and the Cincinnati offense is pretty disgusting, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, getting back into the receivers here... the number 2 receiver that I got, and especially because Jerry Jeudy's out, Cortland Sutton going up against the Jets. Jets are going to Denver. That's Jets defense is non-existent.
Nothing.
So, Cortland Sutton, and also I got Noah Fant as the one tight end that I got that's probably going to have a good matchup. Hollywood Brown. Ravens are going to frickin' Detroit. I feel like Hollywood is going to go out and do some Hollywood-type
Oh,
things
yeah.
against a terrible secondary.
Yeah.
Lamar is going to go off. I also have Lamar as a must-start. I feel like, Lamar Jackson for a QB.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, like, I have that going there.
I thought we were talking about wide receivers.
We are. I was just saying that since I have Hollywood Brown down, I also
I
have Lamar down as a starting quarterback for that too. Like, start him. Like, honestly, these are some of the only real like matchups that you can say one team is 100% better than the other.
Right.
Like that's what I was basing this off of. And then the last receiver. Well, not the last receiver. I got CeeDee Lamb. They're at home. Philly's coming to town. I mean, Philly's been doing better this year, but, like, I think that CD is going to...
He had a great game last week.
He's had a great season so far.
Yeah.
He's had a really good season so far.
I think he has 15 receptions already, I saw yesterday.
Well, one of the things that I noticed is that, obviously, at the beginning of the year, I know we were talking about this, where Dak loves to go for Amari. Well, now it was shown even in this last week that teams are starting to queue up on Amari and they're starting to double team Amari. That means that CD is going to be starting to get more targets.
And also the whole Amari Cooper one big game and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it going to be another big game or is it going to be nothing? I mean,
that was always one of the biggest reasons why. Yeah, his boomer bust has always been.
That's why I won't
way
ever
too
take
wide of a
Amari
margin.
Cooper. Just too big of a gamble.
It is. It is a very big gamble, and
I'm not saying Amari Cooper's a bad receiver by any means.
No, it's
good.
just that boomer bust ratio for fantasy is too much.
Ooh.
And then my dark horse guy here, Kenny Galladay. Going up against, they're at home, you know, it's same thing like with Saquon, you know, Atlanta's coming to town, that defense is awful, you know.
Yeah. I like his enthusiasm. That he wanted the ball more, you could tell.
Yeah, oh yeah, him screaming at Jones.
That was pretty crazy.
Was just nuts. Oh shit. Yeah, Harrison was saying, just messaged up saying how much we're lagging. I'm like, yeah, I know. Hopefully this won't be as terrible moving at the end of it. When I was, we're having some serious lag issues, but like I don't think it's gonna actually. We're having drop frame issues and stuff like that. So when it comes to the QB, the only other QB I have other than Lamar Jackson is Kyler Murray.
Oh, God, yeah.
Going into Jacksonville. Like, Kyler has been, like we were saying before, dude, human fucking joystick. The guy is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I don't know what it is about this guy that, like, I don't know if, like, they made him into a superhuman or what, but holy shit. And then... So, yeah, I said Noah Fant is my only real tight end that I saw that had any type of significant mismatch. For flex, and this is a guy that, I picked him up this week, and I know that he's getting scooped up in a lot of leagues right now. Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore. All right, for Arizona. This guy has been crushing. He has been crushing so hard, and it's like, a lot of people were sold on this guy before the season started because he was. I figured he was going to be really good, but I did not expect. I figured he was going to be that number 3 guy. You know, behind freaking AJ Brown
and Kirk.
And I figured it was going to be, you know, obviously D Hop is their number 1. I figured AJ Green was going to be that number 2 guy. And I figured Rondale was going to probably grab a spot maybe as a 3 or 4. But he's shown himself that he is now that clear number 2 in my eyes.
He like totally schooled that defender on that play where he just basically was... There was nobody there for at least 3 seconds, 4 seconds maybe. And he was gone.
Right.
That was a great play.
Yeah.
He's kind of kind of like a Tyreek Hill. That's kind of how I see him.
So fast.
Yeah, he's amazingly fast. And if you have a chance, grab him. Although I think he's probably gone by this point.
Yeah, if he's available in any of your guys' leagues now,
Grab
guys, scoop him up. Scoop him up because he's going to be big. He's going to be a big time flex guy.
He could be the Justin Jefferson of last year.
I can see that. I can definitely see him being...
Well, the Justin Jefferson of this year, I suppose.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
I totally get what you're going with.
I just think he's going to be good. And I mean, that's no offense to, like, Jamar Chase, who I think is having a good year.
Everybody expected Jamar Chase. Like, the thing is,
Right.
when you look at these top guys that went to these other teams, okay, you got your Jamar Chases... Your
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, your Devonta Smiths, your Jalen Waddles. You got these guys, everybody's expecting them to do good. You know, nobody really...
Jalen Waddle really hasn't done much lately. Or yet.
What?
Well, he has Tua, which, I mean... But they played together.
Well, my issue isn't necessarily with Tua when it comes to that Dolphins team. My issue there is...
Offensive line?
Their offensive line is atrocious.
Yes.
They don't... Outside of Waddle and frickin'... they got Waddle, Gesicki, and frickin' Devontae Parker, which isn't a terrible tandem, but, like, it could definitely be better.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but how do you expect a quarterback to frickin' throw the ball when he has one of the worst offensive lines in all of football?
Right.
And he's in one of the toughest defensive divisions in all of football.
Oh, completely.
You know? Because the Patriots still got an amazing defense. Bills have got a redonkulous defense. The Jets, not so much, but,
still,
you're still facing against, AFC defenses, and a lot of those are no joke, dude.
No. Especially the Bills. The Bills are good on all.
The Bills are overall a really well-rounded team.
That week one was just a fluke. I really believe.
Same. I feel like week one was literally just the fact that the Steelers came out better prepared, and the Bills just, McDermott and Allen, they didn't have the rust knocked off completely, and then but them going out into Miami and stuff, they were like, okay, the rust be gone. Let's Josh
Allen and the defense especially, because I had the Bills defense and they got me a ton of points.
Fucking Harrison. Thanks, buddy. Well, no, he was telling me that it was coming choppy and everything, and I was like, yeah, we know, and he's just like, seems smooth now, crushing it through adversity, get after it. Just like, fuck yeah, thank you for the support there, buddy.
Yay.
But, okay, so going with that, let's go ahead and get into going into our final hour here.
Okay.
Underrated Killer of the Week. This is going to be my new favorite segment on our show. That's all I got to say.
Underrated Killer of the Week.
Yes, the underrated Killer of the Week this week is none other than Taylor fucking Heineke.
I think you're probably right. He came out of nowhere.
I did not expect
I didn't see that at all.
I mean, yes, it was Washington going up against the Giants. The Giants came out to play, dude. Jones had a good game. Saquon had a pretty good game. That Giants defense...
Shepard had a great game.
Shepard had a really good game. And that was against the top...
You almost sounded like Goblin there.
Taylor Heineke, he has the preciousness. That was a terrible Goldman impersonation.
That was okay.
I could have done better. But no, real, looking at what I've heard a lot of people call is the saga of Taylor Heineke, it's pretty fucking beautiful. Like, the dude got cut by 4 different teams, never got above practice squad or third string status. Okay? He was a backup in the XFL. During that year. Yeah, he was a backup in the XFL. And then he came back last year. He was a practice squad guy. Came out, got that went and helped lead them into the playoffs. And then, it kind of ended from there. But then he gets his first official start this week. And he goes out and he goes through the adversity. He goes through all of the challenges that he has. He goes through everybody saying this guy's going to fail. And he says, like, just like how, like in Game of Thrones, what do we say to death? Not today. He literally was like, not today, motherfucker.